The soft glow of the Manhattan skyline bled through the floor-to-ceiling windows of the Apex, a rooftop bar where fortunes were made and lost over single malt scotch. Liam moved between tables, a ghost in a black uniform, his thoughts drifting not to the exorbitant tips but to the man in the corner booth. Caleb Sterling. A name that was whispered with a mixture of reverence and envy in circles Liam could only ever serve. Tonight, however, the whispers were different. Liam had overheard two brokers by the service station, their voices low and sharp, speaking of a titan's fall, of the Sterling Empire crumbling into dust. Bankruptcy. The word echoed in Liam's head. He watched Caleb, whose sharp suit and commanding posture betrayed nothing of the rumored ruin. When Caleb finally rose and headed for a private corridor, Liam's feet moved before his mind could object. He found Caleb leaning against a cool marble wall near a balcony. The city lights a distant, glittering tapestry behind him. A wry, knowing smirk played on Caleb's lips as he watched Liam approach. He had a feeling the boy had been following him, a quiet satellite in his orbit for weeks. Liam's voice was barely a whisper, explaining that he had heard, that he wanted to help. The confession was a rush of clumsy words and earnest gestures. His face flushed under the dim track lighting. Caleb's gaze was unreadable as he exhaled a stream of smoke. The alpha scent, a subtle mix of sandalwood and something wilder, seemed to thicken the air, making Liam's shoulders tense despite his beta biology. This close, Caleb was an overwhelming presence. To prove his point, Liam fumbled for his phone, pulling up his banking app. He presented the screen, a testament to months of scrimping and saving. He explained that he had money. Caleb looked at the balance, a meager four-figure sum that was everything to Liam and less than nothing to the man he used to be. A slow, deliberate smile spread across Caleb's face. This was not their first encounter. Liam remembered it vividly. A terrified new hire in a hand-me-down uniform, tray trembling in his hands. Caleb had been on the phone, a call worth more than Liam's entire life. Yet he had paused, raising a single finger to his lips in a gesture for silence that had made Liam's heart hammer against his ribs. When the call ended, a crisp $100 bill had appeared on his tray. As Liam hesitated, another had joined it. Caleb had leaned in close, his voice a low murmur that vibrated through Liam's entire body, asking if it was enough. He'd warned that wanting more would cost something different. Liam had fled then, clutching the money that felt both like a blessing and a brand. Now, faced with Liam's desperate offer, Caleb's eyebrow arched in amusement. The sheer audacity of it was intoxicating. He leaned forward, his height forcing Liam to tilt his head back. Through the open collar of Caleb's shirt, Liam caught a glimpse of a perfectly sculpted chest, and a blush crept up his neck. He tried to elaborate, to say that it wasn't much but it would keep Caleb from going hungry. But Caleb cut him off with a soft, dangerous question. He asked if Liam's intention was to keep him. The word hung in the air between them. Liam's carefully prepared speeches about encouragement and gratitude evaporated. This wasn't about repaying a debt. It was something far more primal. He had seen Omegas try to get close to Caleb, only to be dismissed with cold indifference. For a beta like him, with no glands and no scent to entice, this was a fantasy spiraling into an unforeseen reality. He expected rejection, perhaps even a punch. Instead, Caleb slowly, deliberately, pulled the silk tie from his neck. He wrapped it twice around his own wrist, tying a loose knot and then pressing the other end into Liam's trembling hand. He declared that, in that case, he had no choice but to be taken. He called him Master. The walk to Liam's apartment in Queens was a blur. The tie, a tangible link between them, felt both impossibly heavy and lighter than air in his hand. 10 minutes ago, he was an anonymous waiter. Now, the most powerful alpha he had ever known was following him home like a prize. He was just a beta, an orphan who had scraped his way through life, a person who should never have even crossed paths with Caleb Sterling. Yet here they were. His mind raced with feverish, possessive thoughts. The tie wasn't enough. It should have been steel chains, something permanent. The apartment itself was a shock to Caleb's system. The building was a pre-war walk-up, the air thick with the smell of other people's lives. He kicked a leg of the flimsy bed frame, and it groaned in protest. Liam's face burned with humiliation. He stammered an apology, explaining that it was all he could afford, especially now. He promised that once his internship started, they could find somewhere better. But Caleb seemed to have other plans. He grabbed Liam's arm, turning to lead him back out the door. As Liam stumbled, the contents of his backpack spilled across the floor. Amidst the clutter of textbooks and chargers lay a simple black leather collar. Caleb bent down, picking it up. The initial shock on his face melted into a look of dark, knowing amusement. He mused that it was always the quiet ones. Liam's entire body felt like it was on fire. He tried to explain that he had just passed a pet store, that he thought it was beautiful, that he thought it would look good on. He couldn't finish the sentence. He braced himself for ridicule, but Caleb simply walked back into the room and sat on the rickety bed. He tilted his chin up, his voice a low command. He asked what Liam was waiting for. The next morning on campus, Liam felt like he was moving through a dream. His friend Ryan, an energetic Omega from his class, grabbed him by the arm. His nose wrinkled in disgust before he started spraying Liam with a bottle of scent blocker. Ryan demanded to know who he had been with, asking when he had met a top-tier alpha. Liam's heart seized. He denied everything, but Ryan wasn't convinced. He insisted that Liam reeked of alpha pheromones, strong enough to trigger an Omega's heat. He joked that if Liam hadn't been in a fight, he must have been thoroughly licked by a dog in rut. The words made Liam's cheeks flush as he remembered the night before. His hands had trembled as he'd fastened the collar around Caleb's neck. To his astonishment, Caleb had been perfectly compliant, lifting his chin and lowering his head as instructed. His only complaint, uttered while looking at his reflection in the cracked mirror, was that the craftsmanship was crude. The memory, coupled with Ryan's words about an alpha in rut, planted an idea in Liam's head. He rushed back to the apartment after his last class. The small space was filled with the sound of the shower running. A moment later, Caleb emerged, a towel slung low on his hips, water dripping from his dark hair onto his chiseled torso. The sight, though becoming familiar, still stole Liam's breath. He averted his gaze, biting his tongue to suppress the heat rising in his own body. Caleb noticed his early return and, after adjusting the collar, moved to put on an apron to start dinner. Liam stopped him, grabbing his arm. The proximity, the faint scent that could be soap or could be purely Caleb, was dizzying. Caleb raised an eyebrow, a smirk playing on his lips as he asked if there was something Liam wanted to do with him. Liam's face burned. He shook his head, then nodded, a mess of contradictions. He pressed a glass of water into Caleb's hand, telling him to drink it first. It was something he had bought at the pharmacy, a remedy the clerk had promised would help with the heat of an alpha's rut. Caleb swirled the glass, a curious glint in his eyes, before downing it in one go. Liam reached out, his hand shaking slightly as he checked Caleb's forehead for a fever. Caleb's throat worked as he swallowed, and then he leaned in, his body radiating an intense warmth. He whispered that he was starting to get hot. That wasn't right. The medicine was supposed to cool him down. As Liam turned to find the box, Caleb's arms wrapped around his waist, pulling him down onto the sofa. The heat was overwhelming, a furnace against Liam's skin. Caleb's eyes were half-lidded, his voice a low, husky growl against Liam's ear. He was so hot. He called him master. Liam stared, mesmerized. The untouchable man was now pliant, vulnerable. The urge was overpowering. He hooked a finger in Caleb's collar, pulled him close, and crushed their lips together. Liam awoke late the next morning, his body aching in places he hadn't known existed. He stumbled into the living room, searching through the pharmacy bag for the box of medicine. Caleb leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed, watching him with an unreadable expression. Liam explained his confusion, muttering that the clerk had said it was for cooling down during a rut. Caleb let out a quiet sound of understanding. He asked, his voice deceptively mild, if Liam was getting tired of the game already. Was he now going to use it was an accident as an excuse to kick him out? The accusation stung. It was Liam who had given him the drink. Liam who had kissed him. Liam who had eagerly torn at his clothes. And it was Liam who, throughout the night, had clung to Caleb's neck, crying and begging for more even as his body trembled with exhaustion. How could Caleb think he didn't cherish this? Days later, standing in the shadow of the colossal Sterling Enterprises building, Liam understood. A gleaming Maybach purred at the curb. Caleb emerged, dressed in a suit that cost more than Liam's tuition, his hair perfectly styled, his presence commanding the deference of everyone around him. The flower had returned to its untouchable peak. Ryan, oblivious, chattered beside him, excited about their internship interview. He couldn't understand why Liam's face had gone pale, why his hand, clutching his resume, was shaking. The interview was a success. The salary was more than he had ever dreamed of. And he never saw Caleb. On the way out, they overheard two Omegas gossiping about the young mister. Sterling, brilliant, ruthless, handsome, a perfect top alpha. Ryan scoffed at the idea of such a perfect man existing. Liam murmured that it was true. He had seen him. That evening, the apartment felt different. The key in the lock turned with a dreadful finality. Caleb was there, wearing the collar over a casual sweater, an apron tied around his waist. A hot meal was on the table. And suddenly, Liam saw it all. The brand new luxury mattress that had replaced his old one, the plush sofa, the high-end water heater. All the things Caleb had explained away with flimsy excuses about his bankrupt assets being liquidated. Liam's fingers went to the back of his neck, and he tore off the scent patch he wore. He asked Caleb for more of his scent. He needed the mark, the illusion of possession, even if it was just a bite on the skin of a glandless beta. A few nights later, a call came from Caleb's assistant, Leo. Caleb's expression hardened as he took the call on the balcony. He returned with a clipped apology, saying he had to go out to handle some final liquidation paperwork. He promised he would be back soon. As the door clicked shut, Liam knew it was the end of the game. A text from Ryan confirmed that the application for the company's London office had been approved. It was the perfect escape. Better to disappear with his dignity intact than to be cast aside with a pitying check. He packed his meager belongings. Then, on a desperate impulse, he packed everything of Caleb's he could find. The collars, the clothes, even the pillow he slept on. The taxi was speeding towards JFK when a black Bentley swerved in front of them, forcing an abrupt halt. The door was wrenched open, and Caleb's hand clamped around his arm, pulling him from one car and into another. The interior of the Bentley was silent and dark, Caleb's profile a furious silhouette against the passing streetlights. His voice was dangerously low. He asked if Liam had anything to explain. When Liam remained silent, Stunned and terrified, Caleb's anger seemed to simmer over. He ordered the driver to stop. They pulled over under the deep shadow of an overpass. Caleb's voice was cold as steel. He told him to get out. Liam fumbled for the handle, ready to flee, but Caleb caught his waist, slamming the door shut. The locks clicked. The driver and Leo exited the car, leaving them in complete isolation. Caleb's scent flooded the confined space, thick and possessive. He snarled, asking if Liam had really planned to run to another country while his flight was delayed. He bit down on Liam's shoulder hard. He growled that he should have locked him up from the very beginning. Then his mouth was on Liam's, silencing any protest, any explanation. He awoke in an unfamiliar room, sunlight streaming through a panoramic window that overlooked Central Park. This was Caleb's home, a gilded cage of minimalist design and priceless art. His phone was on the nightstand, but he knew there was no escape. A few days later, a commotion erupted downstairs. Liam peeked from the top of the stairs to see a beautiful, fiery Omega arguing with security, demanding to be let in. The Omega shouted about his relationship with Caleb, about his right to be there. Liam's blood ran cold. He was the dirty secret, the mistress. He fled to the bedroom and hid himself in the cavernous walk-in closet. The footsteps came up the stairs, followed by the Omega's shouting. Then another set of footsteps, heavier, more deliberate. Caleb's. The closet door was pulled open. Liam flinched, but Caleb's expression was soft. He gently took Liam's hand, rubbing a spot where it had been bumped. Liam tried to shush him, pointing frantically towards the door, whispering that he was coming. Just then, the Omega appeared in the doorway, his eyes lighting up when he saw Liam. He rushed forward, bypassing Caleb completely. He exclaimed that he had been looking all over for him, that it was no wonder Caleb never wanted to come home anymore. He grabbed Liam's hands, his face a mask of theatrical distress. He complained that his brother was so mean, and that his new brother-in-law would have to protect him from now on. Liam stood frozen long after the Omega. Caleb's younger brother, Alex, had flounced out of the room. Caleb stepped closer, trapping him against the doorframe. He gently wiped a tear from the corner of Liam's eye. He asked, his voice a low thrum, if Liam really thought there could be anyone else. He laid his confessions bare. He had booked that bar for a year, but only ever came on Liam's shifts. He knew, with an alpha's heightened senses, every single time Liam had secretly watched him. He admitted that letting Liam keep him was a desperate, clumsy plan to get close to the boy he'd fallen for. He took Liam's hand and placed it over his own heart. He whispered that it wasn't a game, that his heart beat for him. He loved him. Liam's throat was tight. He managed to choke out that he wasn't anything special, nothing worth all this. Caleb pressed his lips to Liam's forehead, a gesture of profound tenderness. He told him that if he wasn't good, then nothing in the world was. Months later, Liam sat at his new desk at Sterling Enterprises, his transfer from the London office having been miraculously exped. Ryan chattered excitedly beside him about a new restaurant they had to try for lunch. Liam's phone vibrated. A text from Caleb. "I miss you. Come up and let me hold you." A deep blush colored Liam's face. He excused himself and took the private elevator to the 36th floor. The moment the doors opened, he was pulled into Caleb's office, the door clicking shut behind him. Caleb's lips were on his neck, his voice a low murmur against his skin, asking why he took so long. After a long, breath-stealing kiss, Caleb finally let him go, asking what he wanted for lunch. Liam's eyes flickered away. He mumbled that he had plans with Ryan. Caleb's expression turned into a theatrical pout. He accused Liam of abandoning his husband on his very first day. Liam, now fluent in the language of Caleb's affections, laughed and wrapped his arms around his neck, promising they would have lunch together tomorrow. Caleb considered this, a wicked gleam in his eyes as he began steering Liam towards the private lounge adjoining the office. He supposed that was acceptable, but he would need a little snack to tide him over. Liam's back went rigid. He tried to protest, but he was already being pushed gently down onto the plush sofa. Caleb loomed over him, a look of pure, sated delight on his face. He whispered that Liam was so cute like this. It was his favorite. Liam covered his blushing face with his hands, his muffled voice a mixture of exasperation and affection. "Bastard."